This is a test cut video using the Forrest Manufacturing Model 204 vertical blade traveling table bandsaw. This is a standard machine for us. Obviously vertical blade, traveling table bandsaw. There's plenty of information about this in some of our other videos, so I won't belabor the point. Today we're cutting material I don't have direct experience with. The potential customer calls it a mineral foam. It looks and feels quite a lot like an insulation material called cellular glass. Relatively lightweight, porous, very abrasive. I can feel my fingertips wearing off even as I'm talking to you, just holding this here. I don't know the exact composition. I believe it is a combination of phenolic foam and silica, so very abrasive. The customer wants to be able to cut this in various shapes using horizontal and vertical saws. I only have a vertical saw available today, so we'll just do some ad-libbing. The blade I'm going to use is a carbide tip hook tooth style blade. I'll zoom in on that in a minute for you here to get a better idea. But it looks like a standard blade, but the tip of every tooth is carbide, near diamond hard. So very abrasion resistant. On material like this, very abrasive material with a silica content, if I tried to use a regular plain carbon steel blade, the teeth would go dull very quickly, maybe as quickly as 20-30 minutes of use. You would just eat the teeth right off the blade. Carbide blade, good for at least a week of solid use, depending on how your operators treat the machine. So what I'm going to do here is just make a few cuts on the material, demonstrate how it cuts, and then I'll flip it up on its end and do a cut like this, just to simulate what a horizontal cut would look like. I suspect it's going to go very well. I'll admit to having cheated a little bit and did some proof of concept cuts before, and went very well. We are going to run a dust collection system on this. This stuff is very dusty, but it's also a good candidate for the dust collection system to work. All Forrest bandsaws have dust collection ports. This one has what we call a dust nozzle right here beneath the table. It wraps around the blade where the blade passes through the workpiece and goes under the table. That's the best spot to capture the produced dust. And we have a hose hooked up to it at the back going to a dust collection system off screen. So I'll zoom in a little for you. Telephoto, as the old timers say. Maybe pitch that down just a bit. That gets you what you need. I'll try to keep myself out of the photo for the most part. A little more than that. Yeah, this is why I'm not in Hollywood. I build great bandsaws, but I'm not such a good cinematographer. Okay, so to start off with, we'll just do a simple little straight long cut through the material. Dust collection, please. Start the saw. Like it's not even there. Like it's not even. Here we go. Just blast through that like it's not even there. Yeah, but that's only an inch thick. I mentioned I was playing with this earlier, so did a bunch of cuts earlier, so I'll stack up some material, cut through a more significant thickness of material. Dust, please. Just absolutely blast through it. So we'll set up a vertical cut, or set the workpiece up vertically. So the customer shipped me several pieces of it, and with the usual care and delicacy that the shipping companies are known for, not a single piece made it here intact. So what I'll do is I'll square this off roughly. We'll leave it running. Let's do this. Okay. This is an absolutely ridiculous way to cut a piece of material. This is a very good example of why we build both vertical and horizontal saws. So I've got a very tall, skinny workpiece that I'm gonna try and cut right down the center. It's gonna be a little wiggly. I am going to capture it between these two pinches. Try and minimize the wiggle. Pretty solid. Need to raise my guidepost a little bit here. That's showing up well on the screen. Yep, okay. I'm gonna go a little more slowly here because I am cutting through more material and I'm worried about wiggling the workpiece as I cut. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So this material cuts so very easily. It just disappears in front of the blade. If you want to do this kind of what I call sheet cutting work, a horizontal machine is the better option, but obviously we can get away with it here. The carbide blade is going to be essential for this application. The material is very abrasive. I think it's already eaten all my fingertips off. I could, were I so inclined, I could go rob a bank and leave not a single fingerprint because this stuff is abrasive. But bandsaws are a great application for this. Blade choice is important, but it's just a matter of choosing the right machine for the application. Thank you for watching.